Pairs of green eyes sneaked through the darkness and watched the 5 strange humans. Tang Mo glanced around the castle and asked, "Do we just look for the cat in the castle?" The butler still kept his head down. "You aren't allowed to enter the places where no entry is allowed." Li Miao Miao turned, wanting to ask a few more questions about Schrödinger and his cat. However, the housekeeper only repeated this sentence from beginning to end. Tang Mo glanced at him before suggesting, "Then let's go find the cat." The castle was dark and red moonlight shone through the high windows, barely showing a dim outline of the house. The housekeeper stood motionless at the door and the 5 people had 2 flashlights. They divided into 2 groups. One group was Tang Mo and Li Miao Miao, the other group was Fu Wenduo, Grisha, and Zhao Xiafei. The Tang Mo duo was responsible for the second floor of the castle while the Fu Wenduo trio would handle the first floor. Tang Mo turned on the flashlight and calmly looked around the second floor. 2 long corridors were visible. The 2 corridors intersected at the stairwell, forming a 90-degree angle and stretching to both sides. The densely symmetrical doors were distributed on both sides of the corridors and red moonlight shone on the doors. Li Miao Miao walked up and carefully pressed the handle of a door. Tang Mo held the small parasol's handle while Li Miao Miao was also ready. She pressed hard before letting out a shocked sound. It is locked. Yes, the door was locked. Tang Mo and Li Miao Miao split up to open doors separately. There were 19 doors in these 2 corridors. 10 of them were locked and 9 could be opened. Once Li Miao Miao tried to force open a door, the Black Tower's childlike voice was heard. Ding dong. Schrödinger's steel fortress contains locked rooms full of Schrödinger's treasures. A key is required to open them. The Black Tower said they couldn't be opened, then they definitely wouldn't open. Li Miao Miao lowered her hands. As they tried to open the doors, more than a dozen cats flashed by them. Li Miao Miao tried to catch these cats several times but Tang Mo stopped her. The female doctor was puzzled. "We are looking for Schrödinger's cat. Shouldn't we examine these cats?" Tang Mo didn't answer. He entered an empty room and searched it carefully, finding 2 black cats in the corner. As soon as the 2 cats saw the humans, they turned to run. Li Miao Miao was faster than the cats. She wasn't strong but she managed to pass the Black Tower's second floor. She easily grabbed the 2 cats and was disappointed when she saw the dirt on their paws. The second rule of the game, Mr. Cat loves to be clean. These 2 shouldn't be it. Tang Mo looked at her. There are 2 cats. Li Miao Miao didn't understand what he meant. What? First, Schrödinger keeps only 1 cat. Second, the cat loves cleanliness and is very unsociable. After a few seconds, Li Miao Miao said, You mean that as long as we see more than 1 cat, it definitely isn't Schrödinger's cat? But these cats all look exactly the same. Schrödinger raises only 1 cat. Does this mean his cat is different from the other cats? No one knew the answer. According to Tang Mo's conjecture, Schrödinger's cat should have 2 characteristics. It was unsociable and it loved to be clean. In addition, after 3 hours, cat food would appear in the castle. Cats love to eat cat food. Li Miao Miao suggested, we can use the cat food to lure out the cat. Before then, they should do as much as possible to find the cat. Tang Mo bent over to pick up a cat in the corner and looked closely at its fur. Once he saw a brown mark that looked like chocolate sauce on the cat's paws, he put it gently on the ground and searched for the next one. The second floor was twice as small as the first floor. After 1 hour, Tang Mo and Li Miao Miao checked all the cats in the rooms as well as the cats hidden in secret corners. Tang Mo walked down a hallway with the flashlight. Suddenly, his feet stopped and his right hand moved towards a high-necked vase. There was a sharp cry and a small black cat was pulled out by Tang Mo. The cat was caught by a human and screamed shrilly, the harsh sound filling the castle. Tang Mo checked the marks on the cat and let it go. Li Miao Miao looked at the young man's back for a long time and couldn't help saying, I thought you would team up with Fu Wenduo instead of me. Li Miao Miao used a woman's keen 6th sense to realize Tang Mo wouldn't do this without a reason. She looked at him warily and asked, Is there something wrong? Tang Mo stopped and turned to look at her. He saw Li Miao Miao's alert look and raised his eyebrows in a provoking manner. Do you think I'm trying to get rid of you? Li Miao Miao was silent. Tang Mo and Fu Wenduo were teammates but Tang Mo never asked to be in a team with Fu Wenduo, whether it was when finding an exit in the forest or looking for Schrödinger's cat. Li Miao Miao had to feel suspicious. She didn't think Tang Mo would use this opportunity to get rid of her but she couldn't think of other reasons. What do you think of Grisha? Li Miao Miao was thinking about Tang Mo's intentions and couldn't respond for a moment. Ah. Then she asked, the mixed-race foreigner? He seems to be somewhat not normal. His style of dressing is eccentric and his words are strange. For example, the lady and gentleman. Li Miao Miao immediately realized. Wait, do you suspect that he's not right? Tang Mo stated, he is very strong. Li Miao Miao thought for a moment before understanding Tang Mo's meaning. Grisha was truly very strong. Previously, Zhao Xiafei had fallen from the steel bar and Fu Wenduo hadn't acted to save her yet when Grisha quickly climbed the pole and grabbed Zhao Xiafei. Li Miao Miao hadn't seen this scene but she saw Grisha holding onto the steel pole while carrying Zhao Xiafei with his other hand, easily climbing dozens of meters. In some respects, his strength isn't worse than Victor and he might be stronger. Tang Mo continued to call Fu Wenduo by the name Victor, even if there were only the 2 of them present. Victor is a special forces soldier and he is very good at climbing piles. After Grisha climbed up, I deliberately looked at their posture and speed. Victor climbed with skill and was very relaxed. But Grisha, Tang Mo found a description. He seemed to be walking, not climbing the pole. Walking. The gravity that binds us doesn't seem to exist for him. Of course, this might just be his ability. Tang Mo and Li Miao Miao had seen the power of gravity. Ruan W.A.N.Sh's ability was gravity suppression. Li Miao Miao realized. You let Fu Victor be on that team to monitor Grisha. Tang Mo continued to move forward with the flashlight. If the other person suddenly does something, Victor will be better able to subdue him. Fu Wenduo had a greater grasp over killing Grisha. Li Miao Miao's breathing paused. She suddenly realized that once a Black Tower game progressed this far, the relations H.I+P between players became more fragile. Especially when it was a tower attack game. Every player wasn't necessarily on the same floor and their missions to attack the tower might be different. The same benefits could drive players to cooperate while different interests might lead players to kill each other. Li Miao Miao no longer spoke and kept catching black cats. Once they determined that a cat wasn't Schrodinger's cat, they would cut a small amount of fur off the cat's hind legs as a marker. Time pas. Said slowly. 2 hours later, the group gathered in the hall on the first floor of the castle. In the silent and empty castle, there was the regular sound of metal collisions from the steel forest outside the windows. Tang Mo glanced at Fu Wenduo, who shook his head while still staring at Grisha. In the middle of the hall, the blond man in red clothing held a short cane in his right hand and a tiny black cat wrapped around his left wrist. Grisha found that Tang Mo and Li Miao Miao were watching him and raised his head with a smile. I don't know why but this little cutie keeps following me. As he spoke, he stretched out a finger. The small black cat immediately opened its mouth and bit the finger weakly. It was more like a lick than a bite and the kitten narrowed its eyes petulantly. As a gentleman, I would never refuse an invitation from a lady. Especially such a cute little lady. Zhao Ziafei ignored this strange person and discussed the situation with her team. We examined 97 cats but didn't find Schrodinger's cat. Li Miao Miao answered, we found 86. Zhao Ziafei's expression turned ugly. In 3 hours, they found a total of 183 cats but not Schrodinger's cat. They had previously seen 400 or 500 cats in the hall. At this rate, they would be searching for at least another 6 hours. This was still a conservative estimate. The harder it was to find new cats, the longer it would take. The Black Tower didn't set a time limit for this mission. Zhao Ziafei spoke seriously. However, I feel like we can't look around casually. We must hurry to find the cat. Everyone agreed with her. Tang Mo opened his mouth and was about to speak. Suddenly, he raised his head and looked out the window. At the same time, Fu Wenduo and Grisha also stared out the window. The next second, they heard strange metal crash.H.I+Ng sounds coming from the window. Tang Mo and Fu Wenduo glanced at each other and quickly entered a beautiful garden through the castle's side door. Li Miao Miao and the others immediately followed. Once they saw the person coming from afar, all 5 of them froze. Oh, are we eating stowaways today? The heart of a stowaway is especially good to eat. Stowaway's liver isn't too greasy when fried. A stowaway's thighs are chewy and powerful. Ah! My dear Lord Schrödinger, have you eaten stowaways today? The eccentric song was coming from a distance. A thin old man who looked slovenly was holding banana wine in his hand, hiccuping as he drank it while walking into the steel castle. His iron shoes slammed against the steel platform, making odd metal sounds. He swayed to the left and right, his murky eyes full of greed and desire. Once he entered the garden, he headed straight to the middle and pulled out a bowl. Then he took out a dirty plastic bag from his sleeve and poured the black solid thing inside into the bowl. The stench of P.O.P. instantly filled the whole garden. The stench was so disgusting that the odor was almost condensed into a solid. A yellow smell could be seen in the air. Zhao Ziafei retched while Grisha's eyes narrowed, his smile disappearing. Li Miao Miao was okay. Before the earth went online, she was a doctor or a surgeon and was used to these things. Tang Mo couldn't control his nausea and his lips and fingers tightened. Suddenly, a warm hand appeared in front of him. Tang Mo was startled and turned towards Fu Wenduo. Fu Wenduo looked down, his right hand covering Tang Mo's nose and mouth. Tang Mo took a small breath and smelt the faint scent of lemon. Before entering the tower attack game, they had found a house to wash up in. The shower gel seemed to smell like lemon. These thoughts flashed through Tang Mo's mind. The hot palm was close to Tang Mo's face. Tang Mo's spirit recovered and he raised his right hand before lowering it again. He unexpectedly didn't pull Fu Wenduo's hand away. Zhao Ziafei and Grisha were standing in front of them and couldn't see their movements. After having his face covered for a while, Tang Mo's lips quietly curved. Fu Wenduo looked at him, how is it? Tang Mo shook his head, it's fine. Time pas. Said and the stench was becoming weaker. 3 minutes later, everyone was used to the stench. Fu Wenduo took his hand away from Tang Mo's mouth with a bit of regret. The old man in rags sat on the ground, the bowl beside him. He saw the stowaways song loudly, wanting to eat the flesh of stowaways. After singing, he smiled and his nose moved as he sniffed the smell in the air. The man's greedy eyes swept over Fu Wenduo and Li Miao Miao before yelling, boutique cat food, has the royal certification of the underground kingdom, the favorite cat food of Schrödinger's cat. Anybody want to buy it? Zhao Ziafei asked, how do we buy it? How? Oh, respected Lord Schrödinger, is there anyone in the world who doesn't know how to buy this bowl of cat food? The old man made an exaggerated expression before he suddenly smiled. How to buy it? Buy it with stowaways. A stowaway is worth a bowl of cat food. Tang Mo stared coldly. What if we don't have stowaways to buy it? No stowaways to buy it. The old man shouted angrily, shameless humans, you want to buy the cat food without paying for it. If there are no stowaways then you can't get a bowl of cat food. I'm telling you, no bowls. Now there are 2 stowaways present and you want me to give you a bowl of cat food without being paid? There's no way. There were 2 stowaways here. Zhao Zifi's sharp eyes swept over the group. Tang Mo asked, is there no other way? The old man got up from the ground and replied angrily, no. There is. The group simultaneously looked at Fu Wenduo. In the red moonlight, the tall and handsome man waved his right hand, a dark and triangular-shaped weapon appearing in an instant. The corners of his mouth were slightly raised and his voice was low and magnetic. Kill you, then this bowl of cat food is ours. The old man suddenly froze. The third rule of the game, beat the greedy underground person who is guarding the cat food to obtain it. The next moment, Fu Wenduo and Tang Mo sprang forward. Added a KO5 for the people asking for an alternative to Patreon. You can also join my Discord channel to chat with fellow readers about the novels.